As a big fan of the survival game genre, having spent a ton of time with titles like Valheim and Shrouded, Dune, and Aska, I'm always looking on the horizon for new ones to enjoy. And you know, ever since Soulmask first entered early access back in 2024, I have had people pretty consistently telling me that I need to check out this game. Well, today I'm going to be doing just that. Soulmask is officially entering 1.0 this week with the release of its Shifting Sands update. In this video, I'm going to be diving into the game, giving you a basic overview with my introduction to it, and checking out some of the new updates and content as well. A big thank you to Cool Games for sponsoring this video and giving me the opportunity to see all of this new stuff early. I will add that this DLC is huge, roughly the same size as the base game map, and it is going to be free to claim for a limited time during the first month. If you'd like to learn more, you can of course check out the links below, but with that, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so on the surface, Soulmask, it does have a lot in common with many other survival games in terms of its core structure, although it kicks off right out the start with an interesting twist where you are picking from one of multiple masks, each with a different focus. But I don't know, this says it's the fighting mask. Walk-in noise reduced 10%, backstab damage increase. Each attack gains lifesteal, brother. All right, let's give it a go. You then spawn into the world and begin your adventure with nothing to your name, having to go around gathering basic resources. I'm gonna be gathering bushes, stones, and branches. Hey, you know what? I've done this before. This is familiar. You use those resources to craft starter survival tools and armor, craft the costume, craft the shoes, craft the pants. Ooh, percent chance to upgrade rarity. Hey, I'm all here for that. Give me the dopamine of random bonuses. I'll take it, dude. Got myself some green pants. Now I'm feeling good. From there, you get to building a base. All right, I'm gonna set up my base here. This is honestly a terrible location. People like rival tribes could just rain down hell upon me. You know what? Let's not set ourselves up for failure. Let's build the base on the high ground so we can get a lookout for said rival tribes. Okay, this is pretty cool. Yeah, I like this. Now, in the process of building your base, you're going to place down your first bonfire, which sort of acts like a plot claim. And it's here that you're actually introduced to one of Soulmask's main interesting features, which is the tribe system. This wandering NPC is just going to show up at your base by your bonfire and ask to join your tribe. Trying to be here more regularly and more consistently, but again, it's a balance. Excuse me, Vagabond ran across your base? Hello, Vagabond. Would you like to team up with me? You're taking a seat. Okay, guess we're gonna team up. The first tribesman. There she is. My lady, my lady. Oh, I can make her dance? Okay. Why don't you just chill? That's better. There you go. After this point, you actually have to go out into the world and subdue any additional members which you would like to add to your tribe, which is quite the process, let me say. I think these ones can be deterred, so I just need to get them to 20% and then deter them. Okay, so how do I E? This is totally appropriate, guys. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Everything is normal, totally fine. I think I'm bringing her back to my base, right? Put one bed here. Upsy daisy. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna put you in the bed. Do you want more soup? And around now is where the game starts to get really interesting, as every new tribe member comes with their own stats, perks, strengths, and weaknesses, and they can be used to do literally anything that you yourself would do in a survival game. In fact, in a lot of ways, Soulmask is both a survival game, but also a tribe management simulator. You can have them go out and gather resources, craft items at workbenches, maintain your base, defend your base, or go out into the wilderness fighting. Literally anything that you would do, they can also do, and you can assign them to do those things, and you can give them a list of things to do. It's really cool. We are going to give you a stone axe. I'm just giving you my own. Tribesman to work type, logging, bonfire. Quantity, unlimited. Save work, and she should go to work now. She should start logging. Already I can see how interesting this system would be with having all these different tribes people set to different jobs and bouncing around as like collecting resources, bringing them back, and then having other tribe people instantly use those resources to craft whatever you have in production. That's really cool, honestly. This is a really neat system. And from here, the game is about acquiring new tribe members, expanding your empire, pushing out through through the map and taking on harder challenges for better rewards and making yourself stronger in the process. There's a whole lot more interesting depth and systems in here as well. They've got RPG-like stat systems. The rare all stats are good game. I mean, it seems like it. I don't think any of these are bad. I like usually strength and physique, but obviously increased stamina is also freaking huge. There is dynamic weather and temperature for you to manage. There's some weather systems in here. This is nice, dude. We had the sunrise a minute ago. Now we've got some water coming in. I don't know if you guys noticed that we had a temperature gauge up top, the weather, and then my personal body temperature. That's some nice sounding rain, dude. I'm getting immersed. Okay, wait, let me turn this up for you for a second. Some nice sounding rain. I actually really like it. It's been raining a lot here where I live, so I'm pretty much an expert. Pretty much an expert on the sound of falling rain. There are progression trees for both your masks as well as your weapons and character. I'm like capturing this or something. Mask tech. That's my mask that I have. I did have that mask. What did this do? Awareness strength needed. This was me literally unlocking the ability control. I see. I cleared these ruins and I unlocked a new ability for my mask, and that's the ability that lets me take over other tribe members. The game lets you freely swap and take control of any member of your tribe as well. In fact, this is a big part of the game. This game is all about finding a good NPC. Your initial character doesn't matter that much. So that is actually something I heard. So it's a tribe collection game. There are going to be some really strong characters that you will acquire in your tribe, and you just play as them because they are beast compared to your main character. And so much more. Frankly, that's really just scratching the surface. This is a very systems heavy game, but it's really interesting if you spend the time and get into it. Those are the basics. That's like the essential introduction thing. Everything Soulmask has been up until this point. Now let's talk about the new expansion. Again, I got the chance to play this for a few days prior to its coming out, and here's some of what I saw. So the update begins and in fact takes place on an entirely brand new map. This is completely separate from the core Soulmask experience. It's a whole new location with a whole bunch of new stuff being introduced in the process. You've got this Egyptian themed desert map that you will be starting out in. In fact, you begin by spawning on this tiny little island with a pretty nifty new mask to begin. Right away, this mask gives you the ability to just straight up fly. Now, it does use mask energy, so you cannot infinitely fly anywhere forever, but as long as you have the energy and the means to charge it, you can go quite a nice distance. From this beginning location, I set out to a nearby larger island full of various points of interest. Here I came across some aggressive wildlife. There was strongholds full of enemies, but also upgrade spots for my mask, new loot, and various useful materials and resources. I spent some time just kind of enjoying the exploration, picking up some new items, and clearing enemy camps. In fact, the more I've played, I gotta say, I've really started to enjoy the game's combat. It still does very much feel survival gamey. A lot of these titles have kind of similar feeling to how the combat is, but I will say Soulmask does have a nice sense of impact as well, and with the different weapon and mask combinations, they offer quite a nice variety in terms of how you engage with combat. I went through the process of building an initial base right near the center of this island nearby the starting location, added a few members to my tribe by doing the whole subduing process, and then put them to work gathering some basic resources, which they do automatically, and once they gather the resources, they then deposit into any categorized chest that you've created, which is a really nice feature. After this, I set out to some new lands to do some more exploration. I should mention as well, when setting the game up, there were a few options to pick from, and I went with the combat-focused one at a medium difficulty. This seems to have really ramped up the speed of leveling proficiencies and the amount of resources gathered whenever you harvest stuff, so that I didn't have to spend too much time farming and could instead focus on exploring and fighting. I wasn't expecting this feature, but it's really nice. In fact, there's quite a lot of fine-tuning you can do for setting up your own map and game. So I ventured out from that initial major island that I set up shop at and came across some scouting camps. Here, you actually have to subdue one particular NPC. Doing this will essentially lift the fog of war in that area. After doing this, I went out exploring some of those newly revealed points of interest. I came across this absolutely massive enemy camp, poked around for a bit, but was forced back. There was just an absurd amount of enemies here, and they were quite deadly as well. After that, I opted to just clear out some smaller camps in the nearby vicinity, of which there were quite a few, and in the process managed to collect a lot of nice high rarity loot. I was also introduced to the new mount system system. There are donkeys that you can ride. And not too long after this, I came across my first boss, which was kind of crazy, but I actually don't want to spoil that for you here. Now, other than the new location itself, the update features a bunch of new stuff. Even if you played the game in the past, there's a lot of new things to see here. So there are ships, a whole new roster of ships, from straw boats and tribal sand ships to numerous anti-gravity airships that you can fly around in. Beyond piloting these yourself, you can also engage in PvP ship battles if you're up on a PvP server with multiple ships exchanging fire. There are flying carnivals, and you can have these as your base. They're essentially mobile bases that you can set up in the air with your tribesmen doing work on the ship. And as you progress through the game, beyond building an initial base on land like you did in the core map of the game, yeah, you can build an entire base just on the flying airship, starting from scratch, building the ship up piece by piece, individually putting all of these separate rooms, all of the sections of your bases, places for your tribesmen to work and do stuff and help you in production, but also places to chill and hang out, maybe sit in a hot tub, whatever you want. And then from there, you'll get the ability to fly the ship, actually taking it off into the skies, assigning tribe members to work the different bips and bops and parts of it. It's a really neat system. There are new god-themed masks and, of course, bosses to come across. You've got the ancient Egyptian god masks for Sobek, Anubis, Horus, and Ra. There are new bosses like the Crocodile of the Underworld, the Soul Hound, the Sacred Scarab, and the Death Sandstorm. A bunch of new building management and tribesman features, so there are new building modules with the Egyptian-style architecture set, new recipes, farming, and animal breeding system. They've got brand new tribesman talents, a new Egyptian character customization with the face editor, and brand new Egyptian-style outfits. And then there's all sorts of new open-world exploration options, including the brand new mounts with donkeys, rhinos, and camels. There's the new item, the phase anchor, and some new gameplay features, including a shield sand sliding mechanic and mechanical creature taming and subjugation. You know, I gotta say, I've been told about this game for quite a while. Like I said, basically ever since I first came into early access, I've had people popping into my videos being like, you should check out Soulmask. I think you would really like Soulmask. And I'm happy to say, now that I finally sat down for a good amount of time with the game, playing for a few days, yeah, I actually really like Soulmask, and I'm looking forward to continuing playing and seeing more. This has been a fun little introduction to this game, though. I'm pleasantly surprised and enjoying this. I've only got kind of the foundation laid here, literally. I like the glimpses of the automation of these tribes members that I've seen. So how does it stand out from other survival games? It's got systems similar to Aska, if you ever played that, where you recruit these tribe members and you just give them jobs and they automatically do it. So I have her set to go farm wood in the woods, and she goes around chopping wood, bringing it back, sticking it in the crate that I have designated for wood, and then once the wood's here, this lady starts crafting the logs that I set as a queue, which is really, really neat. I don't know, seems pretty cool thus far. There's a whole lot more of this update that I've yet to get to because it's just gargantuan. If you guys like what you saw, once again, we got links below. You can check those out, help support the channel. Thanks so much. Also, thanks of course as always for watching. Hope you guys just enjoyed the vid, and I'll see you in the next one, all right? Take it easy.